The great American irony, charity abroad, chaos at home. Welcome to the land of the free and the home of the brave, where you're free to die without insulin and brave enough to ignore it. In this shining beacon of democracy, the same insulin that costs $35 in Canada, produced by the same U.S. corporations, is sold to Americans at prices that make payday loans look charitable. But don't worry, we're sending $300 billion to Ukraine. Because, priorities. Charity starts at home, unless you're the U.S. government. If America is the greatest country in the world, one has to wonder why its citizens live like extras in a dystopian movie. Homelessness? Check. Children going to bed hungry? Double check. Crumbling infrastructure that makes driving on pothole-riddled roads feel like an off-road adventure? Triple check. Yet, while our own house is falling apart, we've somehow found the time and money to play international sugar daddy. Take the military-industrial complex, for example. The Pentagon, which hasn't passed an audit in its entire existence, continues to gobble up trillions of dollars. This is the same institution that once paid $640 for a toilet seat and $37 for a single screw. You could argue that's better than the $100 billion we've spent on F-35 fighter jets that can't even fly in thunderstorms. But hey, at least we're prepared for a war against cumulonimbus clouds. Congress, the best money can buy. Speaking of fiscal responsibility, let's talk about Congress, where the real magic happens. Lobbyists, those unsung heroes of democracy, spend billions each year ensuring our elected officials prioritize corporate profits over public welfare. Ever wonder why healthcare is a luxury in the U.S.? Look no further than the pharmaceutical lobby, which spent $373 million in 2022 alone to keep drug prices sky high. It's not bribery, it's influence. And if you think that's bad, consider the defense contractors who make billions supplying overpriced goods and services. Who needs accountability when you have a revolving door between Capitol Hill and corporate boardrooms? The banana republics of the West. Having lived in various countries, I've seen how easy it is to buy government officials in so-called banana republics across Africa, the Middle East, and Latin America. But let's not kid ourselves. The US, Canada, Australia, and the UK are just as corrupt, albeit with better PR teams. In these countries, corruption doesn't wear a military uniform. It wears a suit and tie. It's not a bribe. It's a campaign contribution. And instead of being a scandal, it's just business as usual. The pimp and the hooker. So, who's guiltier? The pimp or the hooker? Is it the corrupt politician who sells out their constituents for a fat paycheck, or the corporate overlord who buys them off? Maybe it's the voters who keep electing these clowns. Or perhaps it's all of us, for tolerating a system that's so blatantly rigged. The bottom line, we need a major house cleaning. Before pointing fingers at other nations, we should take a hard look in the mirror. Our roads, schools, and healthcare systems are in shambles, yet we're more concerned with policing the world than fixing our own problems. Ironically, we prefer foreign leaders to be corrupt because it makes them easier to manipulate. But in the end, who's really being manipulated? It's time to wake up, America. Because if charity starts at home, we've got a lot of catching up to do.